Very good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Varsha Parihar, currently serving as a senior resident in the Department of Community Medicine, Maharishi Markandeshwar Medical College and Hospital, Solan. I have graduated from Government Medical College, Jammu, and I post-graduated in Community Medicine from the same institute. And then I went to Maharishi Markandeshwar Medical College and Hospital, Solan, from where I'm pursuing my senior residency. So this is the very first video I'm going to post to my YouTube channel, which I shall be launching in a while. So I request all of you, if you really believe it's going to be worth of it, to please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that I keep updating you with the most relevant, with the most authentic information pertaining to health and wellness and something about medical education. So this video is going to be just an introductory one. It will be a very general video. Now that this COVID-19 has taken all of us by storm, there is this one question which is hitting the minds of different people, almost everybody. This is one question I'm coming across these days very frequently. Most of my relatives, my friends, my juniors, my students, and so many other people, they're asking this question time and again. And I'm very sure that most of the medicos, they're coming across this question as much frequently. Well, that question is, when are we going to get back to our lives normally? When are we going to get away with this nightmare? When are we going to get back to our businesses like it used to be in the pre-pandemic era? Yes, that was pre-pandemic era, because the life after this pandemic will be over is not going to be the same. Well, I really want to believe that the answer to this question is very soon, but the reality is something else. Because the moment we begin to believe that we know so much about this virus brings us some kind of surprise. Yes, this virus keeps surprising us. It has started to change its behavior. I hope, and I'm very sure that most of us, we know what happened in South Korea last month only. So many cases of COVID-19 who were treated and got cured, they were turning positive again. Well, scientists, they started working on it, and many reports, they started to flash around, revealing that they are just the false positive cases. Some reports, they even claim that even if these cases, they are turning positive again, they are not as much lethal. They are just the mild cases. God only knows what is the truth. I really hope the researchers, they come up with some valid conclusion soon. And also we know that how this virus is changing its behavior, the symptoms in under 5s particularly. So right now I'm not in a position to say that when this crisis is going to get over, when it is going to stop, and I don't think that there is anybody who can be certain about that. So before we delve deeper into this topic, I'd like you people to walk through the history at a glance once again. We know that how those 40 cases of pneumonia of unknown etiology, they were reported from Wuhan, China, and how China started to work in collaboration with World Health Organization, and then they came to know that those cases, they were because of a new virus, a new strain of coronavirus, and that was later on named as novel coronavirus type 2. Yes, this is called as novel coronavirus because it was not known to the humankind before. Although we know about these coronaviruses since, time immemorial. Ever since there were human beings, these coronaviruses, they were also there. But what's so new about this virus? We have this animal version of coronavirus and we have this human version of coronavirus. So due to some sort of interaction between these two strains is what is responsible for, giving birth to an altogether different strain, that is the novel coronavirus type 2. So what does that mean? Why this disease is spreading like so fast? Like it is spreading like a fire, like a wildfire. The answer to this question, again, it lies in it. Because we never knew about this virus, we never came into contact with it, and hence we don't have any vaccine against it. That is the reason everybody is almost equally susceptible to getting attacked by this disease, by this virus. So everyone in the community, in the population, is almost equally susceptible to this disease. And also why this disease is moving so fast. Another thing that I'd like to discuss with you is R0, that is basic reproduction ratio, or the basic reproduction rate, R0. So before that, I'd like to tell you something about that epidemic curve. So epidemic curve is nothing but a graphical representation of the total number of cases which evolve over a period of time. So on the vertical axis, we have the total number of the cases, and on the horizontal axis, we have time. So this helps us see that how many cases, they are evolving, or with what rapidity the disease is progressing over a period of time. So every epidemic follows an upward curve, that is an upward trajectory, then it reaches its peak where we have the maximum number of cases, and then it gets plateaued, and then it follows the downward trajectory. So this is what happens with almost every epidemic. So that was something about this epidemic curve. Now I was telling you about R0. So what is this R0, or the basic reproduction ratio? So this basic reproduction ratio is nothing but it tells us that how many people are likely to be infected by one person or one case of a particular disease. As for example, in the context of this COVID-19, if a person is suffering from this COVID-19, or is infected with this virus, how many more people he is likely to infect? So this, R0, it can be either equal to 1, it could be less than 1, it could be more than 1. So if it is equal to 1, then we don't need to worry about much, because here what is happening is, if a person is getting affected with a particular infection or a disease, he's in return giving that disease to, or that virus or that bacteria to one other person, and then one other person, so on and so forth. So in such a case, the total number of cases, they're not that much, and the epidemic or that outbreak, more or less, it remains stable, and we don't need to worry about it that much. But what we need to worry about is when this R0 is greater than 1. And unfortunately, with this COVID-19, this R0 is to the tune of 2 to 3. Yes, it is between 2 to 3. So what does that mean? It means that if a person is suffering from COVID-19, or if a person is infected with it, with that novel coronavirus, he is likely to infect 2 to 3 people. And those 2 to 3 people, in return, they will give this disease to other 2 to 3 people each, so on and so forth, and hence the numbers, they keep multiplying and multiplying, and hence this exponential surge in the number of the cases. So this was something about this R0, that epidemic curve, that why this disease is spreading so fast, just like a fire. Now we know that we are very far off in the horizon of getting a highly effective vaccine or an antiviral drug. So at this moment, what we are left with is just a single modality, a single intervention, and that is flattening of this epidemic curve, flattening of this epidemic curve, and flattening of this epidemic curve. Yes, this is the only thing that we are doing, that is happening, and that we can do till we have a vaccine and an antiviral drug. So what is this flattening of epidemic curve? As I told you, that in some time, the epidemic reaches its peak when we have the maximum number of cases, and then it follows a downward trajectory after getting plateaued or something like that. So by certain interventions, if we are able to bring that peak downwards, that is, we are curbing the number of people who could get infected. So we are bringing that peak down, and then let this curve follow a downward trajectory. So by this, what we are doing is, definitely we are decreasing the total number of people who will be infected or who can get infected, and also we are decreasing the burden on the healthcare facilities significantly, so that we get enough of time to get these facilities well equipped with all kind of support systems, supportive measures, and also we move even closer to getting that vaccine or that antiviral drug. So we are getting that much time. So right now, everybody in one or the other way is contributing to this flattening of epidemic curve. So kudos to everyone. And we also know that it is not before 2021 or 2022 that we'll be able to make it to the vaccine or a highly effective antiviral drug. Although antiviral drug is not needed in every case of this COVID-19, but still it would be even better if we have one. So till that time, what we are left with is just, this flattening of the curve that we are doing through the institution of all those public health measures, that is social distancing, staying at home, self-isolation, self-quarantine, that hygiene thing, that stuff with vegetables, fruits, etc., etc., etc. So that is the only way out. And also we should keep learning from the fellow countries, just like South Korea. We know that South Korea is very close to beating this battle against COVID-19. We know that about that Middle East respiratory syndrome, that how a Korean businessman, after he returned back from Middle East, he presented with all those symptoms, symptoms of flu, and later on it was declared that this outbreak has happened, that MERS outbreak happened in Middle East. That is Middle East respiratory syndrome. It happened in South Korea. So they were already on that track because they knew that something of this sort is going to, is likely to strike them in the future. So the moment they reported this COVID-19 from in their country, they bounced back and they started to work more aggressively with the biotechnological companies, with the biotechnological department, and they came up with the very good testing kits, and they went for aggressive testing, timely testing, that contact tracing. So that is responsible for this improving situation out there. And similarly with Germany. So we should keep learning these lessons from them. Till then, keep following all the guidelines and advisories which are released from time to time. Stay home, stay safe, but definitely we are going to beat this virus. And thank you so much for watching this video, and very soon I shall be coming back to you with some other video, maybe related to COVID-19 or some other topic. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.